Welcome back to another 10-minute turn video from Napoleonic PC Wargamers using the John Tiller series to have a look at the warfare in the age of Napoleon. Back in JTS Leipzig, and today we're going to have a look at leadership and how leaders affect pretty much everything you do on the field, why they're so important, and how they're utilised in the system. The first thing we've got to realise then, everybody from your commander on the field right down to your junior officers in charge of the division and things like that, they go through a dice roll at the start of each turn to see if they're going to get any bonus. Now that's based upon their command rating, and that's command rating is through A to F, similar to your troops. And during that dice roll, you may get a bonus for that commander that may trickle down to the rest of his officers if they are within command range. So you can see a lot of officers on the field here. Everything we do, we have to have an officer or the relevant officer quite close by, not necessarily within the same stack as a unit, but he has to be within a few hexes so he can exert his influence, if you like, over the units in the surrounding area. So up here, we've got some first division of the Old Guard, each with their brigade general. Going back from that, we've got the general of the division, we've got the imperial adjutant, and then we've got Napoleon and his staff officer Berthier up here. This unit up here is the Emperor's staff, his close protection unit, if you like, his own personal bodyguard. I've also got Schwarzenberg here for the Austrians, because I need to show you how to deal with routed units and the bonus that you get there, and disordered units as well. The first thing I do when I start a scenario then is come up here and go to view and have a look at division colours. Now you can see lots of different colours on the screen. We can see now our opponent's division colours because I haven't got Fog of War enabled. If you had Fog of War enabled, you wouldn't be able to discern different divisions and units within your opponent. And we can see here, because we've got the first division of the Old Guard present, they are all the same colour, this sort of light pastel green almost. Going up from the units themselves, and sergeants and lieutenants and things like that are assumed to already be within that unit, giving out local orders, for want of a better word, so we don't have to worry about anything sergeant wise and junior officer NCOs. However, this guy Christiani, he is General Brigade, 1st Division of 1st Division or 1st Battalion, 1st Division Old Guard, so he's in charge, if you like, of these guys here. And going up here, we've got his peer, if you like. We've got Michel, who is the 2nd Battalion of the 1st Division Old Guard, and these guys correspond to him. Going up the chain, we've got the General of the Division, Friant, and he's the 1st Division Old Guard leader, if you like. And the chain of command, in reality, orders would trickle down from here onto the brigade generals, and then onto the troops themselves. Going up from that, or going up from the from Friant there, we'd have an imperial adjutant. He'd be passing orders on, or the staff would be passing orders on from Napoleon or the commander, whoever it was on the day, onto them, onto the general, down to the general brigadier, and then onto the soldiers themselves. As long as everybody's sort of within close proximity and nothing is really interfering with that nice streamlined process, everything will be hunky-dory. Everybody will get the relevant attack bonuses if they're going to be in place with that dice roll, as well as the defensive bonuses. However, it's not like that by any stretch of the means. Once we start putting in opponents and enemies and things like that, the whole command structure, if you're not careful, can disintegrate. People get lost in units where they shouldn't be and things like that. So it's always a good idea from time to time to come up here to view division colours, just to make sure that your leaders are where they're supposed to be. Because if we don't have leaders in place where they're supposed to be, we will suffer defensive and offensive penalties once we start to attack and we try to recover troops and things like that. Here then we've got Napoleon and we've got Berthier, our commanders on the field. This unit here is just Napoleon's personal bodyguard, if you like. I just put them there for show. And down here, I'm just going to take those division colours off, so we all go back to normal. And here we've got Schwarzenberg, just because I want to show you some stuff with the Austrians here as well. If we ever struggle to find a leader and we know his name, we can come to View, we can come to Find Leader or Units, and we can put Napoleon, for example. Let me search that, and then we've got Emperor Napoleon. We've also got other units with Napoleon's name, but let's say Emperor Napoleon, and it will take me to the hex where Napoleon is. So that applies across the board. If you get stuck and you don't know where your leader is, you can always search for them as well. Excuse me. Now, if we have a look in here, we've got some disordered Austrian troops in there. When they're disordered, they're going to suffer movement penalties, they're going to suffer attack and defense penalties, and we can't change any formation with disordered units. So if I was to move a leader up here, closer or even on top, during the next turn, during the next phase, it's going to expedite or give a higher chance of those units actually disordering. The same applies to these routed units down here. If I was to move the leader either on top or close by within a few hexes, it's going to expedite or give a better chance for those units to actually unroute and to get back into the fight, if you like. Okay. The other thing we've got to be careful of is that if our leaders are caught out in the open or they're caught with another unit, what can actually happen is we can capture them, and we just do that with their unit by right clicking on them, and we've overrun Mr. Zeppelin. So that's the very basics of units. If we were to melee here and melee with these guys here and bring a leader into action, because they are in that same hex as that unit, you're going to get an attacking bonus. Same if these Prussians were to attack me, I would get a defensive bonus. And if we just go there, so you can see that was a very effective melee. Okay, we were using Old Guard against some Jaegers, and they were A quality as well, but there wasn't that many of them. But because we had that leader in the same hex, it was going to give us an attacking bonus. The other thing is, now we are disordered after that charge, after that bayonet charge, and because we've got the leader there, the chances are in the next turn, because they're guard, we've got a leader there. Hopefully we've got a very high chance of undisordering or getting ourselves back into order during the next turn. So that's very, very basic leaders. Leaders do have a higher movement value as well. However, we don't use them as scouts to go and have a look behind the enemy and up on the flanks and the other side of the map and things like that. Keep your leaders where they are, keep them safe. I always play with victory points for leaders, just because it makes it more realistic. If you lose a leader, it can have a knock-on effect. They do generally get replaced by sort of generic leaders, but they may not have the same effective combat rating or command rating as the leader that has had to have been replaced. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure to watch the videos on artillery and infantry and cavalry, and happy gaming.